After almost 30 years as a firefighter, Jack Armstrong has retired. I recently sat down with Jack and asked him about his retirement and how did this all start for you as a fireman?
Yeah, I mean, as coming up, raised on emergency and watching Roy and John, and that was a part of life. Never knew that I was going to become a fireman. And then I'll have to, sole credit goes to Tim Deaton, lived across the street from me. Tim had already joined the fire service, worked full-time for the city of Monroe. Jay Cooper, who lived just down the road from me, was volunteering for Walton County and our Walton Road group, which included, I give credit to Lakeview Drive, Wayne Chansey, longtime chief. Tim just knew me as an individual, mechanically inclined, and that the fire service would be a good fit for me, encouraged me, got involved with it, and here we are, 27 years later after August 11th, 1995 of closing the chapter on that door. But I give Tim Deaton the credit for incarcerating me into this years.
When Jack was probably 10 years old, he had mono. The man had mono, the boy had mono, and he's always been a real good athlete, and everybody in town knew it. And at that time, Monroe was so small, you knew who the athletes were. Jack was always the one who'd put his heart on the line in sports, and he's obviously done that here with our fire department for the last couple of decades. Jack played in one game that year. He'd come back from mono, played in one game, and was announced as one of our all-stars for the city. And normally, if you play one game and you make all-stars, somebody's going to complain about it because, little Billy should have been on that team, and Jack only played one game. But not one person said a word because they all knew the heart and the dedication that he had for his team, which has really translated well to the City of Monroe Fire Department. I appreciate everything that you've done. I appreciate the fact that I still get to see you on a regular basis, just a block or so from here. But we will certainly miss you as an organization and as a city. And if you decide after a couple of weeks that you're really not wanted at home all the time, you're more than welcome to come back and join us anytime. But we appreciate everything you've done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Looking back over the years, are there any incidents that stick out in your mind that you went through that you would share with us? Yeah,
absolutely. A few things that come to mind and come back into some discussions that we've had. The great chicken poultry fire of 95, December 29th, 1995, 6:30 p.m. The call goes out for the poultry out at what we know as MLK and Spring Street now. I was in the volunteer part-time position for that. Tim was full-time. He picked me up and we responded off duty as you were kind of required to do, and spent the night there. And one of the interesting things is I got married at 10 o'clock the next morning, so that's where my bachelor party was at. That was a long night, a long, tiring night. It was a tough situation. One of the things that it's been interesting I take from that is myself and Tim, we arrived there together. Neil Knight, longtime representative of the fire service in Walton County in Monroe. Neil pulled up off duty and had his son Jesse with him at the time, who now is one of the shift guys that works with me. So second generation working with me at Monroe. We all were getting ready, and Jesse was standing there, and we throwed on our gear and started walking towards the building that was on fire to meet up with the hoses, and looked back, and I could see that look in Jesse's face as his dad coming back. I can still see that today of the concern because we had a big task ahead of us. And we did a little bit of work, but there was far more styrofoam than we had water. I remember that. I've done CPR on a couple of friends before that survived. That's been fantastic to reunite and have that conversation and know that the efforts made a difference that day. When I've been out in public before and see some of the kids that I've talked to in school come up and say, hey, and I'm always referred to as Captain Jack. It doesn't matter, firefighter, lieutenant, chief, everybody calls me Captain Jack. Captain Jack, you remember me? You talked to me in high school and told us the stories about this and educated us on that. Those times are good. Unfortunately, there's a lot more of the other side where we deal with death on the car accidents and being with somebody at their last breath, and things of that nature have been tough. We see a lot of car accidents, a lot of things that could have been preventable. I've been fortunate, only had to work a few child deaths during my career. Those are very, very stressful. The few that I've been on, those things still remember. Probably most recently, it's been some few years ago, there was an accident out at Unicia Drive in 78, and I got there as a battalion chief, first arrived on scene, and checked on a family member in the car, and there was a little old lady that was in the car, and her husband was concerned for her, and she was in dire straits. And I just grabbed a hold of her the best that I could, and she was asking some questions, and I just said, "Hey, dear, just dance with me. Your husband's right here, and let's just dance together while we get all this stuff," and just trying to take her mind off the stress that her body was going through. I'll remember that wreck always too, and she passed after she got to the hospital. But those few moments in time that you spend with somebody was really compelling. Got in a couple bad positions before. Me and another firefighter in a house fire on Church Street, for all purposes, should not have seen the light of the next day. It was let's call it a hoarding house that was split into a duplex that some of our larger houses on Church Street can happen to. And we went in to fight fire, and our trail took us through the house, and it got to burning real hot and heavy, and Captain Dan Fonda was ready for us to get out of the house, but getting out of the house wasn't such an easy thing. So I told my firefighter RJ Lott, I said, "You just spray water, I'm gonna get us out of this place," and found a door and put my backside into it. We were obviously on our knees and on the ground, and we fell out the door, him spraying water and fire up over the top of us, and well, we're still here today. So close call. During my years, my mind did change. 1999 with the first child, 2001 with the second, that my job is for them. I'm going to do the very best I can for our community, but I'm a dad first, and I'm able to make that work in my mind, that if I don't come home, I haven't served any purpose. And so I took some of the risky behavior and wildness out past those late 90s into 2000, understood, go do the job to the best of my ability, but in the end that I've got to go home in the morning. And the crew that I work with has got to go home in the morning.
27 years, I've been with you 14 of them. Thank you for your service to the city. It's been a fun ride, a lot of good times. Trying to find the words. Thanks for being a brother and a friend. We're sure gonna miss you. So definitely won't be the same. So I love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Let's take them. I got you. Trying to get them off for you. How long have these photos been taped? Up? No time?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the age of the photos, and
Went to
Oh,
Walmart.
that's my favorite,
got 'em
bro.
developed. That's it. Yeah.
I just take that.
yeah,
I got it.
that's my
Yeah,
that's my dad.
That's the crown jewel.
No, right there, big
Yeah.
and pecans.
Show it. Show the camera.
No, that's you.
The whole family.
I don't know what this will bring at auction, but we'll run it up and see. It could be a priceless,
Helping hand.
helping hands. Look, your signature still hadn't changed.
Look at that, yeah. Handwriting still is good.
Sign the
Still
check.
have it backwards way.
But I'm impressed you did have 4 fingers and a thumb. So
Uh-huh.
just about.
It's yours, Grayson.
What's it like watching your dad take these memories down off his locker?
It's wild. Like it's especially like the pictures of us when we were little, like playing on playgrounds around here, is wild to see. It's really
How
cool.
long it's been hanging there?
Yeah,
Because it's
years.
because I know how tomorrow morning is going to make me feel, and like you're the one who's retiring from 27 years of service. I can't even imagine how it's going to make you feel. So it's real special seeing these photos.
Station 1.
Chief from Monroe HF, we want to congratulate you on a truly deserved retirement. For the past 27 years, you have given your all to this department and this city. Good luck to you and enjoy your next chapter with family and friends.
On behalf of the city and the department, I want to congratulate you on 27 years of service to the citizens of Monroe and Walton County. 27 years is a long time. In fact, you've worked for the city longer than some of your crew members have been alive. Thank you for all of your contributions over the years. They will not be forgotten, especially your passion for community risk reduction initiatives. Congratulations on the conclusion of a successful career, and we wish you well as you move on to the new endeavors in your retirement. Have a great retirement. Don't be a stranger.
From Central, it's been a pleasure. Time to sit back and enjoy life. Final call, Monroe Fire, Battalion Chief Armstrong, advise your status.
Central, I'm not out of service. I'm just retired. But do one last thing for me. From your side of that radio, do your best to make sure all these brothers and sisters get a chance to go home. Everybody gets a chance to live. I thank everyone out there. Keep teaching. Keep doing good. You're a value in this community and an asset to all. Godspeed. Love all of you.
Central copy, 120. May God bless your new journey. Come out 0708.